And welcome back to the Tuned In
Let's
podcast. How you
go.
feeling, Braden?
Oh man, I'm feeling so good. It's a wonderful time to be alive. NBA finals in full swing. It's been fun to
Heck
watch.
yeah.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I think I'm low key becoming a Jaylen Brown fan.
Oh
Not that
man,
I
he's
was
so nice.
before.
He's so
He's so
nice.
nice. Yeah, no, finals are great. Life is great.
Oh
We
yeah.
actually have some Jazz news today. Gonna
So
talk a
we
lot
do.
about some jerseys, but yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We got a lot of exciting things in our episode today. Actually, most of our episode we're gonna be talking about the new jerseys, where they rank in Jazz all-time jerseys. Gonna do a little bit of a tier list. And we got a couple other pieces of Jazz news that we'll get to. We'll go over game one of the NBA Finals, some interesting points to talk about. And then we finally have a smaller list of hockey team names. So we're going to talk about those, maybe rank them a little bit. There's six of them. So exciting stuff on our episode today.
Make sure to check us out, whatever platform you listen to your podcasts on. We're on Spotify, Apple, Amazon. I think we're on Samsung Podcasts, if that's
Let's
where you
go.
roll. And now, as of maybe 2 episodes ago, we are on YouTube. So
Sir.
check us out on all those platforms. And then we'll also post on Instagram after this, a little post episode. And we'll love to hear your thoughts on that too.
This is episode 32 of Tuned In Jazz.
We have some Jazz news.
Oh, let's go. Finally something
Let's
to talk
go.
about. Let's go.
Something exciting. I don't know.
It
Where
is
were
exciting.
you? Where were you when you got the news?
Oh man, I think I was just scrolling through Facebook or something, saw him on there. Oh, it's so hype.
Yeah,
And it made my heart so happy not to see any of that awful yellow. So what a blessing. It's been
it's
amazing.
such a blessing. It's such a blessing. So, for those of you who are wondering what the heck we're talking about, the Jazz finally released their new jerseys for the upcoming season and in the future. Honestly, the
Yeah.
next few years, they look great. They look
Yeah.
really great. Initial reactions? We haven't even seen them play in them. It's been 24 hours, I think. Like,
Yeah.
what are you already thinking about them?
Oh man. So, well, I will say I really like the black and white one, especially the one. If you haven't seen the picture, go look it up. You'll find it on most Jazz social media right now. I really like the one Taylor Hendricks is wearing in the picture. I think that one's really clean.
I think they
Um,
called that the Midnight Black.
oh yeah, it's very nice. Honestly, I this might be a little bit of a hot take. I don't like these like purple ones as much as like the old school purple ones, but I know that that's like I don't know, maybe just purist in me, but I do
No,
like these a lot.
I think that's the common take. At
Yeah,
least I would agree with you, so maybe other fans would.
yeah, but I
I
think they
would
look
say
nice. Yeah.
the black and the white ones both look fire to
Oh
me.
yeah.
I would argue out of those in the picture, the white ones are probably my favorite.
Oh yeah.
The one Keontae's wearing in the picture.
hmm I saw.
I don't know what to call those. Maybe like the powder whites,
Yeah,
something like that.
I saw I think it was Bleacher Report posted it on one of their social medias, and all these non-Jazz fans were like, "Dang, I'm gonna have to be the Jazz in my career next year." And so these are gaining us some fans. It's sick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the other thing that was in the post with releasing the jerseys is that they're gonna kind of release them a little at a time,
yeah,
and so next season we're still gonna wear like the normal black and white jerseys we've been wearing
yeah.
with like the little yellow highlights in it. And
Man.
then we also, let's see, we also I think are gonna do the midnight black ones at least
Yeah,
partially into next year. Those are gonna come out. And so they're going to kind of swap out jerseys one at a time for like the next year and a half.
that'll be so sick.
I think they should just get rid of them all right away, but
I don't see
I
why
think
not.
it'll add more hype to
Yeah,
people that are getting excited like we are. So
oh,
like
absolutely.
there will be a ton of news the first time and the first game the Jazz wear the new ones.
Yeah,
So I think it'll create lots of good attraction and hype when they do start switching them.
yeah. I will say too the some of the NBA jerseys, like the patch that's on their jersey, just looks like really out of place. But whatever, I don't even know what this company is. LVT. But it just looks like it doesn't take away from the jersey too much. I also didn't notice this till now, but the black one has a Jordan logo on it, which is kind of interesting. It's the only one that has a Jordan logo on it, which is kind of interesting. That's kind of odd. You don't really see teams switch between brands, but I wonder if that's the plan.
I looked up LVT because honestly, I'm with you. Like, I didn't really know what that was. But it looks like it's kind of to do with like solar.
Oh, okay. One of those companies. Okay. Props to them for having a smooth looking logo. Doesn't look too crazy.
I think it is kind of like there's like a solar panel as part of the setup, but it's kind of like Vivint where it's like home safety and security.
Oh, okay.
So
I see.
There you go. I could totally be wrong too because I didn't know what it was either, but I think it is something to do with like security cameras and like stuff to make you feel peace of mind. Yeah.
It says that it says on the website that the city edition jersey will come out in the fall. What do you have any predictions or what you hope it might look like? What do you think that's
the mystery jersey that we don't know what it's gonna look like?
Yeah.
Ooh, I think you would agree with this just based on what I've known of what you like from jerseys in the past. But I think this is the perfect time to release another baby blue one.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of maybe not too different from the others, but yeah, just like a baby blue base.
Yeah.
Maybe similar to those black ones, but blue.
Yeah. I would like that. That'd be sick. I could also see them doing like we can't completely abandon the Red Rock type theme, although we've done a lot with it. So maybe that's like watered down at this point, but you could do something.
What if like you replace the mountain in the middle with the arch, like delicate arch?
That'd be sick,
that would be pretty fire, I would think.
Just like on the old court that we had where it was like in the middle or whatever.
Right?
Yeah. That'd be sick.
That would be so hype. Yeah. So honestly, there's a lot of creative places they can go with that. I'm excited.
Or maybe they're just waiting for the hockey team jerseys to come out and they're going to match the hockey jerseys.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding. I don't know about that.
I did see they made a logo for the first year hockey, and it is baby blue.
Oh,
so
really?
I'm just saying.
Interesting. Okay.
The baby blue could be happening if if like what you said, they're going to try and match the hockey.
Yeah.
So
that'd be sick. Well, we put together kind of a fun little. You might have seen online people like to do tier lists, cereal tier lists, president's tier lists, but we're not going to be getting into any of that. We're going to be doing a jersey tier list. So we're going to see where these ones rank, I think.
And before we get into it, I just kind of want to define the tiers a little bit in my mind so that we can be on the same page. We're only going to do 4 tiers. Yep. Keep it simple. And you could kind of say some jerseys are at the top of the tier or the bottom of the tier, depending on what you want to say.
Yeah.
But I would say S tier, the highest, is probably like timeless.
Oh, yeah.
You want to buy, if you don't already have this jersey in your closet, it's going to be there soon. Maybe A tier is like, makes you feel joy watching the team play in the jerseys, but maybe you wouldn't like go cop the jersey right away. Like it's not in your closet already, but you're thinking about it and you like it. And then B is more like mid.
Yeah.
And then maybe F is like, why did we make this jersey? Like, what's the purpose?
Yeah.
What's your intuition on the 4? That's kind of what
I think that's pretty accurate. We also, Andrew and I went through before and put some jerseys on F. I don't necessarily think all of them are like horrible jerseys, but some of them are just like for instance, white jerseys that aren't really like branded that much. So some of them are just ones that we just put there because they're kind of too similar or not worth talking about. So yeah.
I think some jerseys are also like conglomerate or like together. Like for instance, the classic 98 Karl Malone, Stock Malone jerseys with the mountain. We just assume the white and the purple are kind of in the same category, definitely. Same jersey. So
okay, well, guess we'll start with. I know it's kind of hard that you guys can't see, but we'll just do our best to describe which ones we're talking about. First, we've got these green. It's a Donovan Mitchell era jersey. It's like got a yellow trim. number kind of smaller underneath the Jazz note.
Yeah, I believe this is called a statement jersey at the
okay.
time. It was probably like 2019 or 2020.
What are your initial thoughts on this and what tier?
So we might disagree on this one, but I think of the green jerseys that we've had, I'm not super high on green, first of all. But of the green jerseys, this is probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And so I would put it at B, like it's mid.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I agree with you. I think it's better than the other green ones we've had for sure. I'm not a crazy big fan of like the logo just seems so bunched up top. But I could agree with B. I think it's not a horrible jersey, but
kind of mid. Okay, the next one we have, it's the era of Trey Burke and Dante Exum.
I feel like this one's a classic, in my opinion. It's not like my favorite jersey all time, but like when I think of Jazz growing up, this is kind of like one of the ones I picture, I guess.
Fair. I think this would be like, it's like a navy blue Jazz jersey. I also see Darren Williams wearing this. I think I had purchased a Darren Williams, or my parents, because I was so little, with this jersey at the time. It's, navy blue. I think it's like the normal generic home and away.
Yeah. If I were to rank this one, I'm probably going to say like low A is my opinion. Where are you thinking?
The jersey itself honestly looks really bland to me. The only reason I would put it higher is because of the nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd say low A or high B.
Okay, maybe we'll put it on B, like right above one we just did.
Yeah, it could move up later if we feel like it should.
Okay, this one's a little bit controversial one. Because I know we both like this jersey, but I haven't ever heard people talk about how they like this jersey. Maybe it's just the people I'm around, but it's the baby blues, the classic baby blues. Man, what do we do with this jersey?
Okay, I already know you like it, and I do too. So maybe we needed more Jazz fans on the pod today to like balance us out. But I think it's A tier. I wouldn't like go out and this one's not in my closet right now, nor am I like on the fence about purchasing one, but I think it looks pretty dope and I like watching, or I like the color. So
I could go A tier. I think the one thing I like about this jersey is like the contrast between the different blues. I think it's kind of cool, kind of unique. So I could agree with that.
I would also say this might be on the higher part of the A tier, but we'll see as we go. Okay, the next one is kind of more of a Gordon Hayward era. Another green jersey. We didn't have a ton in this tier list. This is, I think, the only other one we have that's green. Yeah, just think Gordon Hayward green jersey. That's what it is. What do you think about it?
I could agree with your point earlier that I don't think this one's as good as the other green one we already talked about. Not a terrible jersey. I'd probably put it like low B. Maybe F, probably low B though.
I'm thinking F.
Okay.
Just because it's worse than the other green one to me, so I gotta put some space.
That's fair. I'd be down for an F. That's a good spot for it. All right, this one, similar to the one we already talked about in B, classic one we remember growing up. I'm trying to think when this one came out. It's recently, but it has the same logo. It's a little more clean looking at the yellow trim. The little like white wing things on the back kind of make it look nice.
This was the jersey we had right before the great infamous icon jersey and yellow colors came into effect. I think Donovan wore these in his time. It's just like the generic navy blues.
I really like how our jerseys are like. I like that cut better too. Like the jersey just looks like more slim. I think I'd probably put it like A tier. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe better, I don't know, better than Baby Blues. Maybe.
I'd put it below Baby Blue A tier for me.
That works for me, yeah. It's probably around the same for me.
Okay, we're agreeing so far. I didn't think we would agree. Okay. All right, the next is our current black jerseys with the yellow Utah. Can I just put it in F already? Are you good with that?
Yeah, Yeah.
Would you put it above the green ones or below?
I probably would. Yeah. It's better than the highlighter yellow. I know that. I kind of like it better than the green. I'd probably buy this one over the green one, if I'm being honest. I'd probably put it over, but what do you think?
That's where I might disagree, but I'll just put it over too. We can
Okay. Fair enough.
honestly, it's like the F tier is F tier anyways. So
Yeah, it doesn't matter too much.
yeah.
Okay, so these are a Stockton Malone era one, purple with yellow letters, yellow number, a little bit of white in the logo. What do you think of this one?
I'm high on these. I do
You like
think
these ones?
I don't know if it graces S tier for me, but I think it has to be above the baby blues in my opinion.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I kind of like the newer version of it a little better. I know we're not talking about that one yet, but with the white as the lettering. But this one's such a
Mhm.
classic. I'm glad we decided to go back to it this last year because
Yeah.
it's a nice look.
The nostalgia factor adds value even though we didn't even watch the 90s unless you were in the womb watching, I don't know.
Yeah. Then that takes us to, I think this one, in my opinion, this one will be so easy to rank. The classic mountain jerseys. We kind of went back to it like 3 years ago, Mike Conley and all them. I think this one's S tier. This one seems like a slam dunk to me, but what do you think?
Honestly, it's going to be hard to beat those.
Yeah, it's classic.
Last time we ranked jerseys, we did a top 5 and that was number 1, I think on both of
I
our
think
lists.
we both
So
shared that one.
and
Yeah.
like we said, the white and the purple probably fit into that jersey. We're just going to kind of lump them together.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
okay, and then the next one, our current white jerseys with like the yellow trim
Yeah,
on the sides. Think Lauri
Mm.
Markkanen right now, just current year.
yeah.
Where would you put these?
I don't know. That's probably still seemed like an F to me, maybe low B. What do you think?
I was thinking low B just
Yeah.
because these are the only ones of the new ones that I can like be okay with,
Yeah.
like maybe buying. But
Yeah, I could rock with that.
yeah,
That's good.
low B.
The logo looks really nice. I mean, the jersey's clean itself.
Pretty simple.
I just hate the yellow, so that's the only reason it's so low, but it's a nice looking jersey, so.
Yeah.
Okay, then that brings us to kind of, I want to say it was the same era as the Baby Blues. It was one of our main jerseys, the kind of navy blue with baby blue trim. I think of it as I'm trying to think if it was before or after Carlos Boozer. I remember Millsap wearing this one. Anyways, classic. What do you think of this
Yeah.
one?
I'm thinking high B tier.
High B?
Like probably above anything else we put in B so far.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I was thinking like low A or high B. I don't like it as much as the baby blue, but I think it's a nice clean look. I could put it high B. It's a good spot.
All right, the next one. This is part of the new drop
Mm-hmm.
that the Jazz has. I guess it was the City Edition last year.
Yeah.
It's like a new take on the old mountain jerseys with like kind of more straight lines
Yeah.
and
Modern.
I don't know how else to describe
Yeah.
it. It says Utah. Where would you put these?
Ooh, I really like these jerseys. Like I said earlier, I don't like them as much as the old mountains. I feel weird putting them at S, but I would say maybe they're an A or S, maybe high A or low S. What do you think?
I would consider these I would put them on par with the Baby Blues.
On par with Baby Blues? Yeah, I could agree with that. You go there.
Okay. They're kind of the same to me. So A tier for that. And then let's first do the classic, I would call them like the sunset jerseys.
Yeah,
Or like the Red Rock
Donovan
jerseys.
Mitchell one here.
We've got 2 iterations of them though.
Yeah.
Maybe let's first do the original ones.
Yeah.
The later ones were more black, but what about those like first sunset jerseys?
Oh,
What would you put
man.
those?
I think that this is an S tier jersey. I just think it's so unique from anything the Jazz have ever done, and unlike the yellow ones, this one worked. Like it just looked nice, especially when you paired it with like a court that we had at the time. Like I know we're not ranking courts, but that was just such a really nice or a moment for
Yeah,
the Jazz.
S tier court.
Yeah,
S tier court. Yeah, no, this is number 2. I would put it just behind the 90s
yeah,
Mountain jerseys. Number 2 for me.
yeah. So we're thinking S tier probably.
Yeah, S
Yeah,
tier for me.
yeah, that works for me too. Well then, what about the black version of it with a little bit less of the red gradient? I guess. I think this one was more recent, right? I think it was the year after they
Yeah,
debuted the other.
I would say I was on a mission when these came out, so I didn't actually watch the team play in
Okay.
them. That kind of tanks my tanks my opinion on them a little bit.
Yeah.
I would put them in B tier,
Really.
but I think they're mid. But what do you think?
I really liked the shorts that went with these. I think they made them a better look. I do agree though. They kind of look. Yeah, I would say either high B or low A. We could go high B maybe, like top of B would be my.
I can live with high B.
Okay.
Would you put them above the navy blue Darren Williams ones?
I would, but we could. Yeah, they're probably pretty close to each other. What do you?
Yeah, kind of on par.
Yeah, yeah. Either way,
Cool.
works. Okay, then that takes us to. Honestly, I'm a big fan usually of like the Stockton Malone era jerseys, but these ones are not one of my favorites. It's the black with. It's kind of got a brown trim a little bit. I don't really know how to describe it. It's kind of different.
Yeah, I think they were like the only black jerseys in the 90s.
Yeah.
So if you Googled that, you'd definitely see these.
Yeah. I'd probably with these ones, I'm probably thinking like B tier somewhere. But what are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking B tier. I like these better than the black sunset ones.
Okay, we could put them top maybe.
So I don't know about. I know you might think different, but I'd say at least because nostalgia. I think it had a better Jazz logo back in the 90s too.
Yeah.
So that helps.
I'm down to put that top. That's a nice one.
Okay, top of B tier.
Okay, this next one is kind of an interesting one. It's the Jazz only sleeved jersey. I remember when these ones came out, everybody was saying Utah FC because they look like soccer kits or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of mixed opinion. What are your thoughts on the sleeve jerseys?
F tier.
F tier?
Why did we wear these? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I remember when they came out, like I was so excited that the Jazz finally were getting in on the sleeved jersey because it felt like we were like one of the last teams to get in on it. But looking back, that was such a horrible era of jerseys. Like
I think the only sleeve jerseys that I could handle were the Warriors.
Yeah.
And then other than that, I just didn't like very many of them. So honestly, I'm down for bottom of F tier.
Yeah,
worst we've seen so far. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, that works for me. That works for me. Okay, that takes us to kind of another version of the ones we threw back to last year, this time with white lettering, purple, yellow trim.
Think Pete Maravich.
Yeah.
Definitely Pete Maravich.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree. S tier for me, but
S-tier?
probably low S tier.
Yeah, I would say they're just above the other purple ones that kind of look like it, which that's at the top of A, so I could totally see it at S tier. So that sounds great.
Yeah, let's do it. I would say I would totally go buy a Pistol Pete jersey of this model.
Sick.
It would.
Yeah.
I think that would be fire.
That'd be so dope.
A little bit better than the yellow Jazz lettering. Having the white, I think looks really nice, like you said.
Absolutely.
So, the next one, I think we only have a few more left, and then we're gonna do the brand new ones last.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. So the next ones, think Ricky Rubio. I would say, at least when I see these jerseys, I think Ricky Rubio. They're like gold with the J note.
Yeah.
And the number. I don't remember what they were called. I think they were a city jersey. But what would you do with these?
I would say probably the only yellow jersey I would ever even consider buying, probably like actual yellow jersey. I
More
would go
gold, I would say. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Just a little. It's not highlighter yellow, that's for sure. I'd say probably mid B tier, if I'm being honest, like between maybe the two navy ones. But I don't know. What are you thinking?
I was thinking A tier after the new city edition one. So I don't know. Maybe we could negotiate somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, we could go like bottom A maybe.
Bottom A is good with me.
Okay. That seems like kind of middle there. Okay, this one's easy, I think. Highlighter yellow jerseys, I think we go maybe just above the sleeve jerseys, or what do you think?
I'd put them lower than the sleeve jerseys.
Lower? Yeah, I can agree
think
with
this
that.
is whenever you think of a
Horrible.
bad jersey, this is the one.
Yeah. Just the whole thing around it. Like, and then Ryan Smith trying to gaslight us all like we were like loving this jersey. Like, come on, bro. This is just a horrible jersey. It was a nice try, I guess, but it just didn't work.
Yeah, and thanks for listening to the fans, Ryan Smith.
Yes, we appreciate you.
We got some good ones now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we have our list now. We've kind of already, I mean, I guess these.
Well, we got to do the new ones. We got to do the new ones.
We've kind of already talked about like the new purple ones. I guess they're a little different. Do you think that they rank differently than these other ones we had last year? I mean, I'm just talking about just the
I'd
purple.
say that both of those would be the same for me.
I think so too, yeah. I think so too.
So I think we're just doing like the white and black.
Yeah, I could agree. So I guess we could start with the white one. Where would you put that one?
I would put it number 2 on the S tier, above the sunset jerseys. Maybe that's, I don't know. It's okay if you don't agree with that, but I'd put it up there.
Interesting. I would say, yeah, I could agree. Maybe bottom S tier would be my pick, or like top of A. I like them a lot.
Let's put them bottom S. How about that?
That works.
Kind of like 4th in the S.
Yeah, I like that.
And then what about the midnight black? I know you said you liked those off the new drop.
These are probably my favorite, honestly. I'm going S tier. I mean, I would say for me they're above the white ones, just barely. Like I'd probably put them right next to each other. That's probably where I'm thinking. But what do you think of the black
I'm like
ones?
the opposite. I like the white ones better than the black ones, but I do like both. So maybe we just kind of put them on par with each other at the bottom S.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I could see that.
Does that end it? Is that all?
I think so. I think that's all our jersey. Okay. And then hopefully, whatever the new city jersey is, hopefully it's so good that we're forced to put it at the top, because that would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you can't put everything in S tier though.
Yeah,
something's gonna fall. But yeah, we'll try and post this on our Instagram so you can see the jerseys behind the rankings.
Yes, we will.
I think I like the list that we have. I feel like
it's not bad.
I was not expecting to agree on so many things, and I feel like we were pretty much on the same page for like maybe 90% of it. Yeah.
Yeah. They talked about a lot of things in the jersey drop. If you go like to the Jazz website, kind of a little shout out to Junior Jazz. Got some Junior Jazz legends here ourselves. So, wait, did you ever play Junior Jazz? I just assumed you did. It seems like everybody.
I did rec ball, so it's kind of not.
Yeah.
So I would say yes and no. I didn't get the jersey.
Yeah. Okay. I'm a Junior Jazz legend myself. They haven't hung my jersey up in the rafters yet, but those are some good times. I think it's so cool that it looks like these Purple Mountain jerseys are going to be the new Junior Jazz jerseys, which is like insane. I need to see if I can sign up somewhere to play, but
I think they look fire. I think the release video was all kids, except for like the one photo of the players, and I think that's so great. They said that Utah has apparently the biggest youth program of 70,000 in Junior Jazz. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
And they also said Utah has the most hoops per capita, like public basketball hoops.
Dang. That makes sense.
But also, like, I Googled it, and there's, like, no evidence to be found.
Oh, really?
behind that claim. So, like, it could be that we have the most public hoops, but I also don't think there's any evidence behind it. But we can say whatever we want.
It makes sense, though. I mean, you think about how many LDS church buildings there are, and each of them has 2 hoops. So, I mean,
maybe if you count like church buildings, probably yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know if those are counted as public hoops.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So I did Google, and apparently, I think it was Virginia. There was like 3 times the most hoops in one city in Virginia than any other city in the U.S.
That's crazy.
And so Utah didn't even have like a top city for basketball hoops
per
capita.
Interesting.
But anyways, I could I could believe Ryan Smith on that one, but I just don't see any evidence. Like, where's the numbers?
Yeah.
Let us know.
I almost think he has to be counting like church buildings because otherwise, yeah, can't think of where there's like a ton of basketball hoops. Plus, like,
Right.
that's not going to be true moving forward because pickleball's taken over. So I think they're going to be all pickleball courts.
So true. So true.
So yeah. I don't know if you saw. So apparently, I just found this out. The NBA has a program where they send player correspondents to the finals, and I guess like the idea of the program is to like prepare players for the next step of their career, which I guess is being in media. I don't know. And Keontae George is going to be one of the NBA correspondents for the finals, which is kind of cool. It looks like he's going to be for Game 3. He'll be there for Game 3. I guess all over the NBA social media and stuff. So that'll be kind of cool. I guess it doesn't mean much for us.
Give you another reason to watch finals for our guy.
Absolutely.
That'll be good.
Absolutely. It's kind of exciting.
Well, let's talk about the NBA finals.
Yeah, let's do.
Did you watch Game 1? What did you think?
I did. Wow.
That was a good game.
Man, we talked about this a little last week, but Kristaps Porzingis is the X factor here. He played unreal. He was their guy. I was very impressed by him. And of course,
I was also impressed by Tatum's not scoring, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like he was getting lots of contested rebounds, assists, playing good defense. So like honestly, I thought Tatum was going to be the scorer, and it was like complete opposite. He was just doing everything else, and it was great. Their whole team made their threes, so it's hard to beat them when everybody's making their threes. So
I remember a couple years ago when they were in the finals against, was that Golden State? I think it was Golden State.
Yep.
There was like this narrative going around like that the reason the Celtics were so good is because Jaylen Brown finally like accepted his role as number 2. And now I just think like he's just proven that wrong. Like I don't necessarily think he's their best player, but I think him and Tatum can be 1A and 1B. Like they're just showing that right now. Like Tatum doesn't have to score 40 for them to win it because they won this game pretty handedly. Like it wasn't very close most of the game. So,
yeah, and I would argue, like I was watching this game, I said at the beginning of the episode, like I'm low-key a Jaylen Brown fan from that game. Because like he's got it all in his game. He's got the handles, he's got the dunks, he's got the shot, he's got the defense. Like there's no like big holes in his game. He can kind of just do everything. And I think people forget how good he is behind Tatum, because he's like made all NBA teams.
Yeah, seriously.
That's really hard to do. Like Donovan didn't make an all NBA team on the Jazz, and he's making them behind Tatum. And so he looks great. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he won finals MVP just like with how he's playing.
Yeah. I honestly think that this has got to be Boston. Like, I still think Dallas will win. That's still my prediction. I'm sticking with it, but I think if Boston wants to win, this is their year because they're like one of the only teams that has 2 Supermax players because I think they just paid Jaylen Brown like however
big
much
money.
Yeah, huge money.
He was like the highest contract at the time when he signed it. So
and they'll do the same for Tatum, I'm sure. So you can't pay everybody. So if they want to win, they got to do it. They got to do it this year, I think.
I love it. I'll also add, Al Horford held his own on the switches because they were constantly like switching him onto Luka and Kyrie and stuff, mostly Luka. He held his own. He wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
And so I think Big Al's, I think he's one of the players that he's played the most playoff games without winning a championship. I heard that on the broadcast. And so he's hungry for a ring. And yeah, he played pretty good on the switches for being as big as he is. He can kind of move his feet a little bit. So we'll see if he can keep that up though. Because
that's the type of player I hope the Jazz can find is like we've beat the dead horse about Rudy Gobert and that whole situation, but it's like Kristaps Porzingis isn't really that different from Rudy Gobert defensively. Like if Kristaps Porzingis gets switched onto Luka in a game winner situation, he's going to get cooked just as much as Gobert got cooked.
Mm-hmm.
So you need guys like Al Horford who you can like take Porzingis out of the game, and so that you can switch on everybody. And anyways, so I think if the Jazz are going to work out things with Kessler in the future, we need that guy who can we can switch out and guard everybody.
And maybe Taylor Hendricks is that guy.
He could
or
be,
maybe Laurie could even do it. Yeah.
Hendricks looked like that guy a couple times, so kind of interesting.
Another point that I want to add, our boy Dante Exum got some burn in this game.
Yes, he did.
Just in garbage time, he got a solid 5 minutes of play and 7 points. Or, nope, sorry, 0 points, 7 plus minus.
Yeah, not great.
I forgot that he was still playing, to be honest, because he doesn't really play a lot. But our only Jazz guy left after all that.
The Mavs players all just, except for Luka, they all played horrible. I mean, a 30-point triple-double from Luka is just what we expect at this point, but everybody else just kind of stunk it up. Even Kyrie didn't play great. 15 points.
Yeah. Yeah, Luka shot 46% still, which is pretty solid.
On 26 shots is really good too,
Yeah, he shot a lot. Derek Jones went 2 for 9.
Yeah.
They needed more from him.
Not great.
And then Josh Green 1 for 4. So
yeah.
But honestly, they didn't play terrible. No. I just noticed they didn't get any of those lobs, or I don't remember seeing any lobs throughout the game.
Yeah.
And so I think the Celtics in game 1, their game plan was like, all right, let's just make Luka not throw any lobs today and just give him one option.
Yeah.
Which kind of worked. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what they do in game 2, because I don't think they necessarily want to keep him comfortable with it, but that seemed to work. Although third quarter, the Mavericks were kind of storming back. Yeah. So maybe they've started to figure out the game plan already.
Yeah. I think this series will be good. I still think it's going to be really good. I don't think this game's an indication of, I don't think Boston will sweep, obviously, but I'm excited to see what happens game 2. And then especially going back to Dallas, that'll be exciting. Really exciting.
Yeah. We haven't even really got a big Kyrie game. He didn't really go crazy. I think we're definitely due for at least 2 of those.
So. Absolutely. So. Okay, well, we finally have the finalists from our, if you remember, how long ago was that the survey came out? Maybe a month and a half ago?
About a month, maybe a little more.
So we finally have our top 6, or I guess our top 5. I think Utah hockey team was always going to be on the list, but the 5 or 6 that we have as our finalists is Yeti, Blizzards, Mammoth, Utah Hockey Club, Outlaws, and Venom. What is your reaction to the list? We'll rank them, but what do you think initially?
Yeah, we'll rank them. I've always been with Blizzard from the beginning, but Mammoth is growing on me, and it's kind of between those 2 for me, I would feel like.
Okay. Yeah, I think Mammoth has grown on me a lot. I think I've seen a lot of cool logos people have made up that are just I didn't necessarily like Mammoth at first, but I think that one's my favorite right now, honestly. A lot of people A lot of people like Outlaws. Venom's surprising. I haven't really heard people talk about that one a ton, but it's a good name, I guess.
I also think Mammoth is cool because of the prehistoric and the dinosaur stuff.
That's true, yeah.
So Utah has that in their bag. Yeah. So let's rank them. Maybe let's start with 6 to 1, because I think the hardest part is going to be the top. And we can have different rankings too, because I don't know if we'll be the same. So who do you got at number 6?
I'm going to say Utah Hockey Club. I know that's going to be our name next year, probably, but doesn't really deserve to be on the list. So
I'm with you on that one. It's just not a name. It's just boring. I don't know why it's in here, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay, so that takes us to
6
5.
for both of us. 5, I'm putting Venom. It was cool that it made it this far, but it just isn't a real contender for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's my... I'm surprised by that one. I didn't hear anybody talk about that one. So
yeah.
But that one's taking my 5 spot as well. Okay, what about your 4 spot?
My 4 spot is gonna be honestly Yeti. It's dropped. It used to be my 1 or 2, but it's just not as cool anymore, I guess. I don't know. It's number 5. It's number 4.
Okay, fair enough. I'm actually going to put Outlaws as my number 4. I like Outlaws a lot. I think it could be a good name. I just don't think it fits Utah very well. I don't know. It doesn't
I don't
seem
know.
like
We in the history of Utah, there's a lot of Western
that's true.
outlaw people around. I don't know if they're all Utah people, but there's
That's
definitely
true.
traveling through Utah a good amount.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think it fits, but it is my number 3, so it's
Yeah,
not that different from you.
fair enough. I think my number 3 is probably going to be Blizzards. I think I like Yetis a little more.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
I think Blizzards. I like Blizzards a lot. I just also like think logos would look kind of weird. Not weird, just it would be a little harder to market that one. But I do like Blizzards a lot. I think that could be a good one.
Okay, number 2.
All right,
Who do you got for number 2?
I'm putting Yeti at number 2. I just think like the mascot could be really cool. I think we could come up with some really cool logos for Yeti. So I'm putting that at number 2. What's your number 2?
Okay, I'll just preface by saying I'll be fine with 1 or 2 of my
Okay,
rankings.
fair enough.
I am going to put
agree.
Mammoth number 2 though.
Fair enough.
Just because I've been sticking with my number 1 Blizzard since the beginning.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I've liked it since the beginning, and I just do think you could make like some snowflakes or like
Yeah.
some ice type themes with it with
That's
Utah.
true.
I don't know. Mountains always.
Yeah.
I don't know. But of course, I'd be totally fine with Mammoth too. That's why it's my number 2.
Yeah. Honestly, I could totally agree. My number 1's Mammoth. I honestly think like my number 1, 2, or 3, I would be okay with any of those. I'd like that they're all like kind of unique. Like there's not really like those names anywhere else in sports as far as I can remember.
Was your
Like,
number
it's
3
kinda cool.
Blizzard or Outlaw?
Was Blizzard, yeah.
Okay.
So I like how they're all unique. I think it would be cool to have our own team, you know. So
I do think just based on like what I've heard from family and friends, it seems like Mammoth is growing quite a bit.
it
And
is, yeah.
if that gives any indication, I think that could win the vote just based on what I've heard from people.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
That'll be exciting. It'll be, as far as I understand, it's going to be a bracket, right? Is what
Yes,
hasn't come out
I
yet.
think so. Well, actually, you can vote. There's a
Oh,
new
it's out now. Okay.
there's a new poll. I don't know if this vote will be prefacing the bracket or not, but
Okay.
you can only vote for 1 out of 6. But there's like a link,
I see.
and it's
Okay.
the stage 2 of the voting.
Gotcha. So
So-
maybe they're trying to get it down to 4 with a nice clean bracket or something.
Yeah.
Wonder.
So go cast your vote. Let Ryan Smith know what you want.
Yeah.
You
be
heard
great.
our rankings. Let us know what you think in
Yeah.
the comments or DM us on Instagram. We'd love to hear anything you have to say. Well, thank you to everyone for listening to this episode of the Tuned In Utah Jazz podcast. We are so grateful for everyone that listens. We just love doing this, to be honest. We enjoy it. And so anybody that enjoys listening is just an added bonus for us, knowing
Absolutely.
that you want to hear about jazz too, while we just kind of talk about it as homies and friends.
Yep. Absolutely. You are wonderful. Don't forget that. And your opinion matters too. So like you said, reach out to us. Love to know what you think of the jerseys of the Jazz or the hockey team names. So
Look for us on Spotify, Apple, and now YouTube, our good old YouTube, and give us the good ratings, give us comments and things like that. And yeah, we'll see ya.
peace.